Here we are again with the FRS. Just things keep popping up. So the last time we tuned it for the new intake, we were seeing a little slight knocking down low, and even while we were just idling or while we were just cruising on the freeway. But when we were actually pushing the car, there was no knock. So that was the weird part, because I went all the way up to like 8,000 RPMs, shifted, no knock, no nothing. So we suspect that the culprit are the motor mounts. So this car, although it's making close to 500-ish horses, it has the stock motor mounts. And I'm thinking that that is probably what's going on. That has been in some of the cases in stock FRSs where they're just NA, that the motor mounts have been known to cause a little bit of a false knock, which it's not really the engine. So that's what we suspect that the culprit is for this car at the moment. I never had that issue before, but you know, after going fast and having that much power, I'm sure that they're probably worn out by now. So we're gonna go ahead and end up replacing them for something a bit better. They're gonna be the Cusco mounts. They say that they're not, that the noise that they make inside the cabin is negligible, which is something that I'm really interested in, because I didn't change the motor mounts on this thing, because before I had a car that I went ahead and put some aftermarket motor mounts that had a really high durometer, I don't know how you pronounce it, which was just basically that the inserts were really stiff, causing the engine to vibrate like crazy, vibrate your dash, vibrate everything. I hate that. This just made the car driving a nightmare. So these say that it's negligible, so that there's not a lot of vibrations transferred over, and then they're still pretty good. They put the power down, they keep the engine in its where it's supposed to be. So we're gonna go ahead and install the Cusco mounts and remove the ones that are in here right now. Here they are. These are the new motor mounts. So instead of being like a one-piece rubber, it looks like they have like two little chambers of rubber, and it's actually not that stiff. So I'm guessing that's what they mean by it's not going to be, you know, transferring all these vibrations into the cabin. And in case you guys are wondering, they say Cusco right there. So we're just going to be replacing the stock mounts with these ones that look like they're really high quality, and I'm excited to install them. We shouldn't need to do that much work to the car, so let's start taking off the pan so we can get access to the actual motor mounts. Now we have some access to the underbody of the FRS, and we can see the motor mounts are right here. They don't look in bad condition, but they might be causing some sort of knock. I also looked around for anything that might be hitting, and it looks like it might have been touching in this area. So I went ahead and moved a little, smacked it away, make sure that the exhaust isn't hitting on the subframe, just because this pipe is ginormous compared to the stock one. So I'm guessing that might have been something that would have been impacting. So we're gonna need 14mm socket for here, there, and then it's got one bolt here bolting into the block, and then it should have one more, if we can find it, somewhere in there. Kind of hard to see, but it only has two 14mm bolts bolting it to the block and one 14mm bolt bolting it to the subframe. So what we're gonna go ahead and do is I'm gonna put a piece of wood on the bottom of my oil pan and lift it up, and we shouldn't need to disconnect anything from the top, at least I don't think. We might, because the turbo kit has pretty tight clearances. So what I did is I used a jack with a piece of wood right from the pan, and we got the motor mounts to detach. Show you guys this side. There we go. Motor mount is detached. Now we just need to go ahead and get to the back bolt. So we did the front one. The back one, the rack is in the way, but it's right there and right there. So we just need to go ahead and remove those. Now that we have a little bit of extra space because everything was in the way. And then we should be good to go with taking the motor mounts out. Here we have the comparison side by side of the right motor mount. They have quite a bit of a difference, and they look much better construction. This looks to be like a plastic whereas over here we obviously have steel, nice little bushings. It's gonna be a nice little addition to make it look nicer and perform better. So I'm excited to go ahead and just put these back on right now. You can see we got one bolt spot there, one bolt spot there, and then obviously where it bolts to the subframe. We were able to get enough space on this side. On the other side, we're having a little bit harder time with space just to be able to get it out. So I'm gonna have to figure something out, maybe loosen something up top that's interfering. Just kind of figure out what's the best way to take that off, because normally in an NA application you wouldn't have this issue, but with the turbo I'm guessing we have some stuff up there that's connected, like that golden pipe up there is probably interfering with that piece of metal right there. So I need to go ahead and check that out, but before that I'm going to go ahead and put this one on so we can have the new one on. I was having a little bit of trouble getting to the driver's side motor mount. Passenger side was much easier because there's nothing in the way. We do have the steering rack in the way on this side, so what I went ahead and did is I removed both of these bolts that are right here. This actually brought this down, and then I was able to move the steering rack a little bit over to the left by turning the wheels, and it kind of just brought the whole steering rack over. As you can see, that's the hole where it bolts on. It's over here now, and that gave me just enough space to be able to get the other stock motor mount out. Now I went ahead and removed the little metal covers that they go, so they're kind of like a heat shield for them. So I'm going to throw them on these as well. So before that, just gave it a nice little coat so that they're not all like dirty and they're starting to rust in a little spot from a little bit of water that we get here in Arizona. So now I can go ahead and install them both. See, this one's already installed here, looking nice and pretty with the zinc plated hardware. Shout out Tommy F, yeah. Motor mounts are now in and fully bolted. Look at that. They look amazing with the zinc plated bolts and nuts. Looking really good. So with the rack off, I could actually move the rack over, get it out of the way, and you can see the bolt right there. Look at that. So with that off, that'll make it a lot easier. Instead of having to use a wrench, I just went ahead and used my electric gun and popped them off. So let's just go ahead and put this rack back on. I'm probably gonna clean it because it's a little dirty down here, because I do drive the car and track it and stuff like that, so it's not gonna stay clean always, but I like to keep it clean when I can. So motor mounts are in. Relatively easy job. I did have a little bit of struggles with the one on the driver's side, which was right on this side, and I just had to move the rack and pinion out of the way, and that made it so much easier, and then just put it back together. You know, I'd probably rate this job like a 2 out of 10. Might be a little bit more difficult if you're doing it on the ground instead of a lift, but you know, it's still not that difficult of a job. I don't recommend changing out your motor mounts. You know, I really enjoyed having the stock ones, because with that, you know, the engine wasn't vibrating or going anything crazy, doing all these weird rattles. But after them, you know, failing on me, so I just had to upgrade. I can't really just go ahead and put stock ones or justify spending the money on stock ones where I could just upgrade them. And hopefully these work out great, work out how I feel that I'm gonna enjoy them, and not worry about having my dash rattle off or having everything come loose because your engine is just vibrating like crazy. I don't really like that. I've experienced it before and it's not fun. So the motor mounts are on. Next thing we're going to be doing is the dyno day. So hopefully that eliminated that false knock I was getting, because we were just getting it at cruising speeds, which is weird because we're going like at a low RPM and we weren't even pushing it. But when we were pushing it, there was no knock. So this is most likely what the issue was. So I guess the mods just never stop. They keep coming. So I'm going to keep posting them for you guys, as well as other projects that we have coming that we've been doing. A lot of my dailies, I've been buying a little bit too much dailies. So you guys are going to probably see that shortly. It's a lot of fun having a lot of different cars and working the business, and hopefully I can bring you guys along for all that. So make sure you subscribe, leave a like, and just stay tuned. As always, you guys have a great day.